What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner with Jeremy Rica. I'm your host, Jeremy Rica, and as promised, I told you last week that we were going to dive into Be the Best Player series, and that is exactly what we're going to do starting today. I'm going to do this series, and I'm going to talk about certain topics that I think will make you a better player in the end. And today we're going to start with a positive mentality. I'm going to give you 3 things that I think will help you as a player develop a positive mentality. And believe me, that's so important when it comes to being a soccer player. It's so important to have a good mentality. It's so important to have a positive mentality because I'll tell you what, it goes a long way. And I look at some of my players that I coach, and they really need a positive attitude. It's so important, and you know, you're going to run into players as a coach that really they need help with maintaining a positive attitude. And like I said, I'm going to give you 3 tips as a player and as a coach, really. I'm going to focus on the player because that's what this series is about, but it really can go for a coach as well. So, the first thing to keeping a positive mentality is put your team first. It's one thing to want to be the best player that you can be. It's pretty obvious that every soccer player wants to be the best player they can be, but you have to realize that, like any sport, soccer is a team sport, and if you develop a team first mentality, it's really going to help you maintain a positive attitude. You know, I look at a lot of players; they have these ideas that they want scholarships for college and they want to play professionally and they want to support their family by playing soccer, and that's all well and good. Don't get me wrong, I think that's very commendable for soccer players to want to do that, but it's very individualized, right? So, anytime that you're on a team, you have to realize that it's not always about you. You might be the best player on the team, but part of being the best player on the team is really developing that team first mentality. And really, if you're able to do that, it's really going to help you keep a positive attitude because, not only will it elevate your attitude, but it's going to elevate the people around you. And that's so important to success of a season. You have to be able to elevate the mentality of your team. You have to be able to elevate the attitude of your team. And if you're a leader on a club or you're a leader at a team, I don't care if it's recreational or club, but if you're a leader on your squad, you have to put your team first. And if you're not able to do that, and if you're worried more about accolades than you are putting your team first, it's really going to jeopardize your career as a player because some of the best players in the world, yeah, they're great technically, but they're also great as far as leadership goes. You look at Ronaldo, you look at Messi, they're both leaders of their team and they're both phenomenal players. So if you can develop that team first mentality, it's really going to help you in the end. The other thing is this: you need to stay focused on what you're trying to accomplish. Staying focused is a big thing, and I don't care whether or not it's in a game or in training. You have to be able to maintain focus because that is so vitally important to maintaining a good attitude and realizing that, I'm trying to accomplish a goal, whether that means you want to win more games than you did last year, or you want to improve as a player. You have to stay focused on whatever it is you are trying to accomplish, because if you don't, it's going to really make it difficult to achieve your goals. And that may sound really funny, that may sound really silly, but focus is the mainstay of any sport. And as an athlete, if you don't remain focused on what you're trying to accomplish, you're not going to improve as a player, and you're not going to improve as a coach. And for me, that's a big thing, because as a coach, it's my job to keep you focused, and it's my job to keep you making sure that you keep your eye on the prize. And really, if I can do that as a coach and you can do that as a player, it's going to be a really successful relationship, because I don't care what anybody says. If you're a coach, it's your job to maintain a good relationship with your players. 9 times out of 10, when a manager fails in a sport, or a head coach fails in a sport, it's because they don't have good relationships with their players. So it's so important that as a coach, you develop those relationships. And if you can do that, it's only going to make you better as a coach. You're going to make better players, and ultimately you're going to be a better team. My last thing is this, and this is going to sound funny to some people, but in order to maintain a positive attitude, you have to want to achieve more than just the basic goals. You have to want to develop as a player. You have to want to make your team better. You have to strive for more than what you think you're capable of. And all of these things, they wrap into one. All of these things go into maintaining a positive attitude. If you're able to keep your eye on what you want to accomplish, you're able to maintain a good attitude. And if you're able to shoot for more than what you think you're capable of as a player, and what you think your team is capable of, it's going to make you that much better, because it's going to want you to do better than just, okay, I want to be middle of the table, or I want to win at least 2 games. No, you have to strive to want to do well all season. You have to strive to develop as a player. And if you're able to do that, it's going to be a successful year. And, I look at my players, and we have the potential to be really good. Both of my teams do. But a lot of it comes down to attitude, and a lot of it comes down to wanting to be there. And, if I was to tell you that I thought all of my players wanted to be there, I would hope they do. Do I know that 100%? No, I don't. Do I think they have the potential to be really good? Yes, I do, but they have to want to do it themselves. And as a coach, it's your job to really instill in them, okay, we're here for a reason, and we need to really strive to be the best that we can be as a team and as players. It all goes into one. You look at it, and if you're a player on a soccer team, you want to do well. You want your team to do well. And quite frankly, if you don't, then what are you doing there? So hopefully these 3 tips give you an idea of how, as a player, you can maintain a good attitude. And let me tell you, as a coach, it's so important to me that players keep a positive attitude. You're not going to win every game if you think you are. It's just not going to happen. But even if you lose, try to maintain a good attitude. It's so important. Well, that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash that like button. Please share this channel. I will bring you a new video every week. I'm sorry it took me so long to upload this week, but things have been pretty crazy with soccer kicking into full gear, and we have games pretty much every week from here on out, but I will still make sure to update the YouTube channel. I will still do the podcast. So if you like the video, please smash that like button. Please subscribe and please share the channel. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye, guys.